glow-in-the-dark sun and moon gel nail art tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be doing a hard gel design that is a sun and a moon, and it's just mildly 3D. The sun kind of has one of those like water gem type effects on it. So in the background of the nail there is some mylar flakes that are orange, and so they really catch the light and do remind me of the rays of the sun, which I absolutely love. And then in the daylight you just see the sun. That's only the part that shows, so you see the sun with the rays and the sparkles, and it's so pretty. But then if you go at night or in the dark, the moon that is glow in the dark that is underneath the sun shows through, so you see that perfect little crescent moon, and then all kinds of little spots of glow in the dark in the background for the stars. So it's so cool having the glow for night and then having the sun with the sparkles for day. I love this. I hope you do too. Don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well.
So now I'm going to be applying 2 layers of a light blue color to in the background as an overlay, and this is with a color gel. So it doesn't really have much of a body to it. It's really thin, and I just want to make sure that it has a nice opaque background to it. So there's the first layer, and then after that's good, I'm going to cure it, and then I'm going to apply a second layer. Like I said, mostly to make sure that it's opaque and that it's got a nice coverage on it, and it really didn't get very thick after this point. It's almost like a gel polish in a pot. So then after both of those coats are on there, I'm going to be applying my just a thin layer of a clear builder gel. And then after that's on there, I'm going to make sure, like I said, very thin. So I'm just going to remove as much product as I can after that's on there. And then I'm going to be picking up my mylar flakes just with this terrible little tweezers, which is the only one I had on hand. But I'm just going to pick them up, and I'm going to set them in place kind of like they're fanning out from the center of the nail. So it's really hard to see them and that they're doing this, but I'm kind of trying to point them outwards as I'm placing them. And so I'm just going to get them, and as soon as I have them in place the way I like them, I'm going to cure that nail for, well, 2 minutes in my UV lamp. But my clear builder gel does not cure in UV, or in LED, so I have to use an UV lamp. So now I'm going to be mixing some of that clear builder gel with glow-in-the-dark pigment, and you want to put a lot of glow-in-the-dark pigment into that clear powder. The more pigment you get in there, the more glow-in-the-dark it will be. So you want to get it as much in that without it getting to be too thick that you can't use it anymore. So after I have that mixed together, I'm going to go through and just place little dots of that glow-in-the-dark here and there all over the background. This is for the stars, so everywhere you put a little bit of this glow-in-the-dark powder, you know that it's going to glow. So just little bits here and there, and if you find that your gel seems to be spreading out some, you can definitely flash cure it. Mine held its shape really well, so I didn't really bother with that too much, but if you'd like to, go ahead and flash cure for 15 seconds every couple minutes just to make sure that everything stays in place. And so then after I have those, I'm going to be adding my moon. And I actually did a couple different layers for the moon, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But I'm just going to be placing that. I'm doing this over mylar flakes, which is a little difficult because mylar flakes are definitely textured, and so it was hard to get it smooth. But I'm just going to be working on getting my crescent moon shape in place there. And I wanted this inside the nail as well as on top of it. So I'm just going to add that first layer. And the reason I did multiple layers on the moon, because I'm going to do another one on top of the nail after it's all finished and filed, is because the more layers of this glow-in-the-dark gel you get on there, the more it's going to glow. So I just kept adding layers because I wanted it to be really, really intense glowing, and I knew it was going to have to glow through the sun, so I wanted to make sure that it had enough power in order to do that. So after you have your moon and you're happy with it, go through and cure that. And then I'm going to be encasing the nail with some clear builder gel and really making sure that I'm encasing over all those mylar flakes and that they're all really nice and stuck down. If some of them do stick through the clear builder gel, because they do stick up and they go crazy and have a mind of their own, that's fine. Once you file them off, it won't make any difference at all. So just go through and make sure that this nail has a really nice structure and a nice shape to it, and then cure that once you're happy with it. So just go through, and you can continue to adjust gel until you are satisfied with it, so you can mess with this as long as you like. And so then after that's cured, I'm going to start filing it. I did clear off the tacky layer, which I didn't show you on camera, but you just wipe it off with some isopropyl alcohol. And then I'm filing it first with a 180 grit file to really make sure it's got a nice shape to it, and if any of those mylar flakes are sticking up and causing general chaos, go through and file them off. They'll file off really easy, and you won't be able to tell in the final design. It just is, I don't know, a little annoying at the moment dealing with those mylar flakes, but they have such a gorgeous effect in the end, it's definitely worth it. So then I buffed it with a 240 grit padded buffer. So now here I am adding that second layer of the glow-in-the-dark gel. And if you cannot tell where your glow-in-the-dark gel was, which I did have a problem with, if you stick that into a lamp, into a UV lamp or an LED lamp for just a couple minutes, it will charge your glow powder and it will make it really, really intense. So then when you take it out, even in light, you'll be able to see the glow in the dark for a moment, and it should be long enough for you to add a second coat of that glow in the dark over the top of it if you do need to do that. So after that is cured, I'm going to do my sun. So I'm going to start with just filling in the area inside the moon with a nice little dollop of that yellow color gel, and then with a thin layer paint over the moon. So at the moment you can definitely tell there's a division between the moon and the sun, but after we start adding more layers to it you can't really tell. So just for the moment perfect that into a nice circle and get that nice and pretty just like that, and just try to keep just a touch of gel over the moon. You don't want to be too much. And then after that's on there and cured, I'm going to be adding the rays of the sun. So I did want to make sure that I cured the sun before adding the rays, because that was a little thicker and I was concerned that that was going to spread. So I just cured that quick just so I knew that it wouldn't be a problem. And so now I'm going to be adding the rays just with thin bits of gel going out from the center of the nail, from the center of that sun, and then out to the edges of it. So just continue those out just like so. And when you're making these, you want to get a little bit of gel on your brush, not too much, because you want these to remain really thin. And as you're pulling it out of the pot, you kind of want to give it a little bit of a tail. So you want to leave a little string of gel coming down from your brush, and that's going to really help you start out making those lines. And so I'm going to continue adding those just like so. And I kind of left a weird space, so I had two that were really close together at the top, but that's okay. So I'm going to take some orange and I'm going to be just blending it along the bottom after the rays have cured, and that's just going to give it a little bit of a shadow and really make it stand out a little bit more. And then I'm going to take just a touch of that orange and go along the edge of each of those rays. Just one edge, just a little teeny bit of that orange gel, not too much. Just, you don't want them to look orange, you just want them to look like they have a shadow on them. And so just add those just like that. It's really not too much at all. And then after you're happy with that, go ahead and cure it again. And so now I'm going to give my sun a little bit of like that water gem type look. So I'm going to take some clear builder gel over the top of it and then just place that around the center of the sun. And then I'm going to flip the nail upside down for just a couple seconds. And then if you want to, you could tap it a little bit, but that's going to give it a nice dome shape. And then cure that, and then apply a layer of gel sealer over the entire nail. And really make sure you get in and around those rays, and then cure that again. And then you are all set. So like I said, this nail, it's kind of like an abstract sun. It's not like there's outlines or anything. That it's really pretty and elegant, and it's quite easy to do. So I hope you like it, and share recreations with me on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!